Sometimes, even the most powerful men fall the hardest. El Chapo Guzmán used to run one of the biggest drug empires in the world. He had private jets, gold-plated guns, and enough money to buy anything or anyone. He escaped prison not once, but twice, and became a legend in the world of crime. But where is he now? Not in a mansion. Not in Mexico. He's locked inside ADX Florence, a cold, lonely prison in the US built for terrorists and killers. El Chapo now lives alone in a small concrete box, with no sunlight, no visitors, and no escape. How did this happen? How does a man go from ruling a cartel to being completely forgotten? This is the story of El Chapo's fall from kingpin to prisoner. If you're into true crime and cartel stories, hit that like button and subscribe to the Narco Files. You won't want to miss what's coming next. What is ADX Florence? ADX Florence sits deep in the mountains of Colorado. People call it the Alcatraz of the Rockies. And for good reason. It's the most secure prison in the United States. Life inside is cold, quiet, and strict. Every inmate lives in a tiny cell, alone, for 23 hours a day. They eat alone. They shower alone. They exercise alone in small concrete yards. There's no sunlight, no hugs, no eye contact. Even the windows are made so you can't see the sky. This place isn't just about locking people up. It's about crushing any hope of freedom. It's designed to make sure no one ever escapes, and to make sure they never even think about trying. The people inside, they're some of the world's most dangerous. Terrorists, serial killers, spies, and now El Chapo is one of them. From king of the drug world to a number in a cell, this is where he ended up. How El Chapo ended up there? El Chapo wasn't easy to catch, and even harder to keep behind bars. In Mexico, he escaped from prison more than once. His most famous escape was in 2015, when he vanished through a secret tunnel dug right under his cell. That tunnel was a mile long. It had lights, air vents, and even a motorbike on rails to carry him out fast. But in 2016, his luck finally ran out. He was captured again. This time Mexico knew they couldn't hold him anymore. So they sent him to the United States in 2017. In 2019, a US court found him guilty of 10 serious crimes, like drug trafficking, murder, and money laundering. The punishment: life in prison, plus 30 more years. No way out, no chance to get free. El Chapo, once the most feared man in the drug world, now has nothing but time, and a cell he'll never leave. Arrival at the Alcatraz of the Rockies. When El Chapo arrived at ADX Florence, his world completely changed. He was no longer the powerful drug boss with gold guns and private jets. Everything he once had was gone. He couldn't call his family. He couldn't see his cartel members. Now all he has is silence, cold concrete, and steel. His prison cell is small and empty, with just a hard concrete bed, a steel sink, and a toilet. There's a small black and white TV, but it only shows educational or religious programs. His food comes through a small slot in the door, no contact with anyone. For 1 hour a day, he's allowed to exercise, but it's not freedom. He does it alone, inside a cage, under the open sky. Even when he moves through the prison, he's in chains, closely watched by guards. This is his life now, quiet, controlled, and completely cut off from the world he once ruled. How he's watched 24/7. El Chapo is seen as one of the most dangerous and high-risk prisoners in the entire United States. After escaping from prison twice in Mexico, US, officials are making sure it never happens again. That's why he is watched every second of every day. Cameras follow his every move. Microphones record every sound in his cell. Guards check on him many times, day and night, just to make sure he's still there and not trying anything. Even the letters he writes are not private. They are opened, read, and scanned before anyone else can see them. Visits are very rare, and when they do happen, they are heavily watched. He can't speak freely. Every word is listened to. Every small move is recorded. Some people think he's being treated more harshly than other inmates at the same prison. But the government says it's not about being cruel. It's about keeping everyone safe. After all, El Chapo didn't just escape once, but twice, and both times caused chaos and embarrassment for the authorities. No one wants to risk that again. So for El Chapo, This level of control has become his new reality. There is no freedom, no trust, just constant watch. How he passes the time: most of El Chapo's days are quiet, cold, and lonely. He spends nearly 23 hours a day inside a small cell, completely alone. There's no one to talk to, no fresh air, and barely any sunlight. To pass the time, he reads books. Sometimes he watches a bit of TV, but only shows that are religious or educational. Even the small things like writing a letter aren't private. Every letter he writes is read by prison staff before it can be sent out. He can't use the internet at all. He's only allowed to speak to a few approved family members by phone, and even those calls are monitored. He's not allowed to talk to other prisoners. It's just him and the walls. He has told his lawyers that his cell is freezing, and that the silence is crushing. He once said that living this way feels worse than dying. He called it psychological torture. But ADX Florence was made to break down even the most dangerous criminals. There are no special rules, no comfort, no escape. For someone who once had everything: money, power, control, this kind of life is the complete opposite. It's a punishment that never ends. Is he still running the cartel? Many people still wonder, is El Chapo still running the Sinaloa cartel from prison? The honest answer is probably not. After he was arrested and given a life sentence, things changed. His sons, known as Los Chapos, have stepped in and taken control. They now run most of the cartel's operations. They use secret codes, trusted people, and secure phones to manage the business from the shadows. El Chapo, on the other hand, is locked up in ADX Florence, the most secure prison in America. It's built to keep people like him completely cut off from the outside world. He is watched every minute of every day. There are cameras, microphones, and guards always nearby. He can't make private phone calls, and even his letters are opened and read before they go out. Giving real orders, or staying involved with the cartel, would be almost impossible. The prison was designed to silence dangerous men, and it's doing exactly that. El Chapo may still be feared or respected by some, but his power is gone. The days of controlling an empire from behind bars are over. Even someone as powerful as him can't break through these walls. Now others hold the keys. His life today, every day in El Chapo's life now looks almost exactly the same. He wakes up in a small cold concrete cell. There's no color, no noise, just silence. He eats his meals alone, with no one to talk to. He spends most of the day reading books or writing letters. But even those letters are checked by prison staff before they leave. For 1 hour a day, he's allowed to exercise. But it's not in a gym or yard, it's in a small cage, all by himself, with no view of the sky. After that, he goes back to the same small cell. There are no visits from my family. There's no sunlight through any window. There's barely any human contact at all. The only people he sees are the guards, and they speak to him only when needed. The rest of the time, he's completely alone. Maybe in his mind, he still dreams of another escape, like he pulled off in the past. But ADX Florence was made to crush that hope. It's built to hold the world's most dangerous prisoners, the ones who can't be trusted to be anywhere else. For El Chapo, freedom is gone. The outside world is just a memory. The bigger picture: El Chapo's story is more than just the tale of one man. It's a story about power, crime, and what happens when it all finally ends. For years he was one of the most powerful drug lords in the world. He built an empire using fear, violence, and money. Some people feared him, others saw him as a hero or even a legend. His name became a symbol in the long, bloody drug war. He escaped prison not once, but twice, making it seem like no one could ever stop him. But in the end, no one runs forever. Justice finally caught up with him. Today at ADX Florence, the most secure prison in the US, El Chapo has lost everything: his power, his wealth, his freedom. The man who once gave orders to thousands now sits alone in silence. He no longer has people to command or tunnels to crawl through. There's no army left to protect him. Just a prison number, a steel door, and a life spent alone in a small cell. His fall is a reminder that no matter how high someone climbs, even the most powerful can lose it all. El Chapo's empire is gone, and now so is his voice. El Chapo once had everything: money, power, and fear on his side. Now he has nothing. No freedom, no voice, no way out. Inside ADX Florence he lives in silence, forgotten by most, and completely alone. Is this true justice? Or is this just another kind of prison? A slow, quiet death where no one is watching. He escaped tunnels and outsmarted police for years. But in the end it wasn't bullets or betrayal that took him down. It was time, and time moves slowly in a place like this. This is how the story of El Chapo ends. Not with sirens or gunfire, but with silence. If stories like this interest you, real crime, real people, real consequences, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Narco Files. Because sometimes the truth is more powerful than the legend.